AITA for kicking my maid of honor out of my wedding with 5 days notice? 23F, getting married in a few days, and most of this happened in the last 2 weeks. My maid of honor, 26F, Mara, was responsible for planning my bachelorette party, which I wanted to be a surprise. We live in a city, but none of us live downtown, so I was hoping for a hotel room downtown, a fun night out with friends, and maybe a brunch. Most of the bridal party lives locally, but 2 girls flew in for the occasion. 2 weeks ago, on a Friday, Mara picked me up, and I was excited to see what she had planned. To my surprise, we ended up at her 1-bedroom townhouse for the entire weekend. There were 8 of us, so it was cramped, and having only 1 bathroom was a challenge. On Friday night, we played games and ordered pizza. On Saturday, we had a mimosa bar, went shopping, ordered food, and watched a movie before parting ways on Sunday. It wasn't the bachelorette party of my dreams or particularly fun, but I appreciated the effort. Last weekend, my fiancé, 32M, James, returned from a work trip. I hadn't told him much about the party because there wasn't much to report. When I mentioned it, he looked confused but didn't say anything at the time. The next day, Mara asked to meet up to discuss something important. She revealed that James had given her a significant amount of money over a year ago, intending it to be used for my bachelorette party. The amount was enough to cover a week-long vacation out of town for the entire bridal party, including airfare, hotel, food, drinks, and activities. I wasn't expecting anything extravagant. A weekend downtown would have been perfect. Even though the party at her place wasn't what I hoped for, I was content to be with my friends. However, Mara admitted she used the money to pay off her credit card debt, hoping no one would notice. I told her I needed some time to process and went home. After talking with James about it, I decided that the best action would be to remove her from the wedding. I came to this decision because I don't feel I can trust her and don't want her to be standing next to me at my wedding. I slept on it overnight and sent her a text saying this on Monday. Since then, I have been getting texts from her mom and boyfriend telling me how awful I am for doing this since I didn't need a big party and Mara was able to financially benefit. My mom is also against removing her from the wedding, as she's like a sister to our family and it would be tragic for me to get married without Mara there. The rest of the bridal party is split, with half saying I shouldn't have kicked her out and the other half agreeing with me. Mara has called me crying because she already has her dress, James and I paid for all dresses, and she can't wear it anywhere else. At this point, I want the wedding to be over with so I can be on my honeymoon and not have to deal with these people. So, was my action too extreme? Relevant comments. Comment 1. Do people not realize she stole your fiancé's money? OP responded. People realize it, but the prevailing sentiment is, in the case of my bridal party, they don't particularly care, and her mom feels it's okay because it got her out of debt. My mom is just disregarding the entire situation because she cares about Mara. Comment 2. She obviously knew it was wrong because she told you out of guilt. OP responded. She didn't tell me out of guilt. After he found out what my bachelorette party was, my fiancé told her either she needed to sit down and tell me or he would. Comment 3. Depending on the amount you could totally press charges. OP responded. Thank you so much. Neither me nor James are interested in dragging this out in court or pressing charges. He wouldn't have given her more money for a bachelorette than he could afford, and this situation is not worth the amount of emotional turmoil that would put everyone involved through. We've gotten enough backlash for removing her from the wedding. Comment 4. On who paid for the bachelorette that did happen. OP responded. I didn't pay for anything other than some drinks I had delivered because there wasn't anything to drink Friday night, but everything else was split 7 ways between the rest of the bridal party. The ones that flew in paid for their own flights. And for who's asking how much was the money she took, it was $25,000. Comment 5. Are you guys insanely rich? How do you brush off $25,000? OP responded. My fiancé makes significantly more money than me and my friends as well as our families do. Comment 6. Did you tell the others how much she stole? Because that could have helped them too. OP responded. I haven't disclosed the amount to anyone yet. I'm probably going to send a text out tonight with that information and stating that anyone who feels she was justified is free to not attend on Saturday. Comment 7. Why in the world did your fiancé give her that money a year ago? OP responded. I think he gave it to her under the assumption that a week-long party would take a while to plan, and that way she could start booking things that may have limited space as well as dispersing money to coordinate flights. She is a person who has been in my life since I was 18 and typically comes over to our house at least once a week. My fiancé considered her a close and trusted friend as well. Comment 8. Now that the amount is out, most comments agree with press charges. OP responded. It's technically my fiancé's money even if it was for what was supposed to be a gift for me. He is leaving it up to me if I press charges, and has let me know he'll support whatever route I want to go. I'm still kind of in shock and obviously upset, so pressing charges or taking her to civil court is the last thing on my mind. He does have text exchanges confirming that she received it and what it was for, and she has sent me things confirming that she used it to pay off debt, and her mom and BF have as well. Maybe I'll change my mind later on, but right now I just want to get married and get away from the drama. Update, 2 months later. First, thank you all so much for being so nice on my previous post. I know this is delayed, but I hope it answers any lingering questions you may have, and I was somewhat waiting to have an update that would answer questions. I had no idea my previous post would get so much attention and so many people would be interested. To answer the most pressing question, I removed my maid of honor from my wedding along and disinvited those who continued to support her after I shared the amount she stole. My husband and I had a lovely wedding and honeymoon, and when we got back we got in contact with his lawyer to begin compiling information and prepare to file a civil suit. This is still in the early stages, but as so many did point out, we do have a responsibility to ensure she faces some kind of consequence to prevent this from happening to someone else. While we won't be pressing criminal charges, we'll cooperate with law enforcement should the DA wish to bring charges after information is brought forth in our civil suit. I honestly don't believe my ex-friend has money to repay us, but we will be donating anything we receive from the trial. I'll try to respond to comments below if there are any other questions.